Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is a tutorial series about shading nodes in Blender. In this video we will learn only the outputs in detail. If you want the previous video about the input nodes, the link is in the description. Before all, subscribe and leave a comment says, I subscribed. Now let's start. Output. Output nodes are the final node in every node tree. Although you can add more than one, only one will be used, indicated by a colored or darkened header. Output nodes are always preceded by shaders except in the case of the displacement of a material output. First, AOV output node. Cycles only. Shader AOVs, arbitrary output variables, provide custom render passes for arbitrary shader node components. As an artist, this can be a good way to debug or tweak very fine details of a scene in post-processing. To use shader AOVs, create the pass in the shader AOV panel, then reference that pass with the AOV output shading node. Shader AOVs can be added or removed in the shader AOV panel. Tip: the AOV output node can be used in material and world shader nodes. Inputs. Color. Output a color variable, as the name suggests, can be used for a color but also a normal value. Value. Output a single numerical value. Properties. Name. The name of the render pass to assign the input value to. This property has the same name that is specified in the shader AOV panel. Outputs. This node has no outputs. Second. Material node. The material output node is used to output surface material information to a surface object. Inputs. Surface. Shading for the surface of the object. Volume. Shading for the volume inside the object. Displacement. Used to create bump mapping or actual subdivided displacement. Properties. Target. Render engine. The input shaders are used for. By default, shaders are shared between cycles and EV, with multiple output nodes. Specialized shader setups can be created for each. Outputs. This node has no outputs. Third. Light node. The light output node is used to output light information to a light object. Inputs. Surface. Shading for the surface of the light object. Properties. Target. Render engine. The input shaders are used for. By default, shaders are shared between cycles and EV, with multiple output nodes. Specialized shader setups can be created for each. Outputs. This node has no outputs. Fourth. World node. The world output node is used to output light or color information to the scene's world. Inputs. Surface. The appearance of the environment, usually preceded by a background shader. Volume. Used to add volumetric effects to the world. See the shaders volume absorption and volume scatter for more information. Note: it is not possible to have an HDR and volumetric due to the fact that HDRs are assumed to be an infinite distance from the camera. Properties. Target. Render engine. The input shaders are used for. By default, shaders are shared between cycles and EV, with multiple output nodes. Specialized shader setups can be created for each. Outputs. This node has no outputs. This is all about the output node. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to subscribe, comment. Bye bye.